Kia ora, bros and girls. So I haven't posted in a while. Sorry, it's been probably about 3 weeks. And I recorded this video probably around 3 weeks ago when a little bit after the event first released. We've been a little bit busy with a few family illnesses and stuff, and we just haven't had time to really do the voiceover for this. So this is kind of a little bit of looking backwards and looking forwards. When I first record, every time the first time we go through the event, I actually like to read the story a little bit. So there's a little bit of story here. But yeah, I don't know if you guys watched Deadpool 2. It's actually pretty funny. Don't know if it's as good as the first one, but you know, it's really cool. And yeah, having a little bit of foresight. I mean, I've kind of, by the time I'm recording this and by the time this goes online, I've kind of already finished most of this event and have a bit of foresight and to compare against previous ones. And I think this one's a little bit easier. I mean, Thanos last month was difficult, man. He was mean. You know, he took a lot of revives, took a lot of potions. You had to figure out all his phases. You had to bring counters for all his phases. Took a lot of tactics and strategy and practice. And I mean, even on Master, he was hard, you know. But this event seems to be, for the most part, a little bit more straightforward, a little bit less money or unit grabbing, depending on how you play your game. This account's totally free to play, so I haven't spent a single cent on it. But for you guys, it might be different. You might have spent a bit of money on pots or revives or a bit of glory or whatever it is that you need. But yeah, the other thing as well is that since actually I've recorded this in the last 3 weeks, a lot of things have happened, and a lot of my hero lineups have changed, and you know, I've got some interesting stuff coming up. So hey, keep an eye on a few of the videos in the channel. You'll see a little bit of the progress, but you see that my team, I kind of go through my go-to team here. Blade and Ultron for regen, Stark for a bit of damage, Iceman kind of for utility, and Medusa. And I love Medusa on the team. She just wrecks tech champions. She wrecks robots. She wrecks non-robots. She's a beast. So for this particular, let's talk about this particular act, because I've kind of been rambling on for a while now. For this particular act, the paths are pretty straightforward, and it's quite a common theme for most of this event quest. Most of the general paths are pretty straightforward, so you just need no funny nose or anything. You just need a decent champ and someone with good regen. And then the bosses can be a little bit tricky. So we take care of Bishop there, nice and easy with Ultron. In this particular one, I think I just went straight down the guts, actually. So yeah, picked up the potion. Head on to Vulture. And I use Medusa because she's great against tech. In hindsight, I probably could have brought in Ghost Rider for the synergy and used Blade. I really like Medusa though. I find her so much fun to play, but using Blade and expanding his danger sense against old villains makes him actually really powerful and really strong for clearing these lines. But at that time, I only had recently got Blade, and to be honest, I was fairly useless with him. I've been getting a lot of practice since then, but you know, you can see Medusa there. She gets the job done. I'm a little bit better with her and a bit more familiar, so I use her instead. We head on over to Spidey. And here, I guess I'm kind of teeing up my mind whether I'm going to use Iceman for his Cold Snap or Blade. But I go, well, let's try Blade, and he's got the class advantage anyway. If I do mess up a little bit, he can regen, and we'll see how it worked out. I was very excited at this point in time because I had only just recently got Blade. I kind of R5'd him straight away, awakened him straight away, had enough signature stones to get him, I think, up to 94 or something. He's now maxed, obviously. He's over 90. He's 99. But yeah, I mean, the guy's a beast. I'd love a 5-star version of him, but even a 4-star version generally gets the job done. His regen, it takes a little bit of practice, I guess, just to figure out how to use him well and how strong his regen is, and kind of how to keep his longevity. So a little bit like Stark. Don't imagine that, if you don't have one already, don't imagine that as soon as you get him that immediately you're going to be a god. You still have to practice him and figure out how to use him well and how to maximize his regen and maximize his damage. But I probably could have done better in this fight, but considering my level of experience at the time, didn't do too badly, and Spidey's always a hard opponent. So we went on from here, and we faced Hulk. See, normally when I'm recording, this is like the first time that I'm seeing the story, and so it's a little bit exciting actually, and I'm normally commenting as we go. But seeing as it's almost been 3 weeks ago and I've already finished this, it's a little bit less interesting to me, but I can't cut out the video, so you're stuck with a few moments in this. So we went up against Hulk, and I did decide to take Blade, take the gamble, and see if I can regen him up to 71. Let's see how well I do. So Hulk he's pretty easy to fight against once you figure out how to evade his SP1. His SP2 also is actually pretty easy to evade, but if you get it wrong, it's almost a definite death. What you really don't want to do ever if you're fighting against Hulk is get him to his SP3, because especially if he's low life, quite often he can one-shot you, no matter what hero you have. I've had 3,000 PI Hulks that I've one-shotted some of my rank 3 5-stars, just simply because I've accidentally got them to their SP3s, so he could do a tremendous amount of damage. But luckily we have Blade, and he can regen some of that damage. Just evade that. And if you want to regen him as much as you can, you kind of have to be a little bit patient. You kind of have to be a little bit more, extend the fights out a little bit and just try to get the max out of it. Otherwise, if you want to just quickly do the fight, you just spam his SP2s. But I like making sure that he's as close to 71 as possible before I start the next fight. I end up in a mistake there, and finish him off. So next up, we go up against Blade and Hood. Now, obviously, the first time through, I didn't know what team I was up against, but Blade is always the second to last note here, and I think in future I use Archangel. Iceman works as well, obviously. He's pretty good, but I find Archangel's pretty sweet, cuts off his regen, and the neurotoxin kills him in no time. And you'll see that I don't have Ghost Rider in here, but in future Blade can be really, really good against that Hood because of the danger sense. I'm not entirely sure who I use here, but either way, I mean, Hood, unless he has some really annoying nodes, is generally pretty easy to fight. You just evade his SP1, bait it out, evade it, and just continue pounding him, and eventually he just dies. Doesn't matter the fact he's got 26,000 PI. Don't let it scare you. It's just pretty much, bait and hit. Hopefully he doesn't have power gain, but I guess we'll find out. So Iceman gets the business done here against Blade. Quite an easy fight. And we're on to the final boss, Hood. So Hood and his Black ISO 8 Mafia. He does have power gain, so that kind of makes things a little bit annoying. Drain power, special 2 bias. So, I mean, really, if you can bait out the SP1, that'd be ideal, but he does have a SP2 bias. If you make a mistake, you kind of have to regen or just wait until his invisibility runs off. We use Blade here for the danger sense, so we can shut off some visibilities. We'll see how well we go on the first run. And once again, remember that at this point in time, I'm not that great with Blade. So I actually don't remember how well or bad this fight went. This was actually my first run through Uncollected. And I didn't know even who the bosses were or what my items are. So it's like a sort of a blind run without any planning. But it seems like I was doing okay, and his danger sense is coming in really handy. I mean, look at those crits. It's pretty high. He gets invisibility here, and just trying to keep away from him. And try to time the hits so he doesn't really get pushed as SP2. And not too bad. Got to halfway from a very low life Blade. Probably if I played better, or if he had more health to begin with, I could have one-shot him. Or if I was a bit better with Blade. But he dies off, and I bring in Ultron. And I guess it's basically going to be the same thing. Just get away from his SP1, get in there, bleed him a bit more. Oh, I tried to go in for the stun lock and push him to his SP3. That's probably not great, but I guess I was in a bit of a rush, or just try to finish the fight. I mean, at this point in time, I have 5 fairly healthy champs, so even if I get a bit too greedy, I've got backup. I've also got my regen, which brings me back up. Fade the SP1, get in there. I'll probably go in for another stun lock here, knowing myself, but I dodged the SP2. But I mean, yeah, you can see he's pretty easy. The only thing is the power gain, and you don't really want to push him above his SP1. It's pretty hard to do. Later on, I think I found that three hit combos seem to work really well against him because it doesn't push him past his SP1, and then you just wait till he does the SP1. But as you can see here, 3 champs, really quick and easy, and yeah, this one was not really too bad. But if you have any problems, let me know. Hopefully this helps, and yeah, if you liked the video, if it helped you out, hit like, hit subscribe. We're going to be bringing out a lot of new videos actually this week, so I'll see you in the next one. Kakitiano.